Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is another Lost in the Pond reaction, and yeah, man, the video is 10 things America has that Britain doesn't. I done a video, I think it was quite similar to this recently. I can't remember the exact title of it, but it was 7 things. It was like 7 things the US has compared to, in comparison to the UK, or things that it has to compared to Britain, whatever you want to say. And I enjoyed the video. It was a really fun one to do. It was like fire hydrants and letterboxes or whatever. I keep forgetting what they're called. What are they called? Then where your post gets posted, where your mail gets posted in the US. Then things that are on your garden. I keep forgetting what they're called. Or I can't think of anything else. But yeah, man, those sorts of things. And I'm just sort of wondering what else he could put into this. But yeah, we're gonna check it out. You know how it is with Lost in the Pond. His videos are always just fun to see. But if you haven't checked his channel out before, links in the description to his channel. Please subscribe to him if you haven't, because again, his videos are just banging, and if you enjoy my reactions to his, I'm sure you enjoy his videos on his own. And yeah, give his video a like and give mine as well. I'd appreciate that. But let's get into this. Quick shout out to my Instagram, my Twitter, links in the description for those interested. We're on the way to 10k on Instagram, so I'd appreciate a follow on there. And yeah, I do chat to a lot of people on there, so it's just nice to interact with new people. But yeah, same for my Patreon, links all in the description for that. And I mean, yeah, let's just check this out. Let's see what things America has that Britain doesn't.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And one of those memos pertains to stuff. Things, things that one country might have that the other does not have. And today I'm going to specifically look at 10 things that America has that Britain doesn't. And 10 is the number of the day. Not only is it the number attached to this very listicle, but it's also tied to the fact that I've lived in the United States for the entirety of this decade that we are now reaching the very end of. And the fact that I haven't lived in Britain for a decade does mean I run the risk of including things on this list that have since been adopted by Britain, and I was just away and missed it. So I think I was careful enough to do the requisite research before doing this video. So for instance, 10 years ago, I think I might have included, Mexican food or proms.
It is coming over here, but I just keep hearing people say Mexican food in the UK just ain't the same, man. It's still not great yet.
Or Black Friday, or
Black Friday's a big one, actually. That's a very American thing, and it is now here. But I'm excited for this Black Friday, man. I've not ever had a proper Black Friday to actually sort of do stuff and get what I want to get. I was supposed to get last Black Friday. I was supposed to get loads of equipment for my setup, but I just failed to do so. So this Black Friday is going to be a big one for me.
Shops. But I've come to find through both my own experiences of visiting earlier this year and also just from second-hand accounts that these things have actually exploded in Britain. Not exploded. I mean, in some cases they have a presence. And so those things are not included, but I will admit that some of the things on my list do have an isolated presence in the United Kingdom. They're just not used or seen or, experienced on a grand scale like they are here in the United States. And so without further ado, let's take a look at 10 things that America has that Britain does not.
Wooden houses.
Wooden houses.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. I remember seeing this before.
Growing up, I watched...
Because we have a lot of brick houses and like things like that, but wooden houses, which is weird because the US is the country. It should sort of be like roles reversed. The UK, there's not really strong winds compared to the US, or storms or whatever it is, or hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever, compared to the US. It should kind of be the other way around. It is kind of strange how we've got it mixed up with which country should have which.
A lot of American films, The Goonies, for example, that depicted these wooden houses, and they always seem really sort of romantic to me. I don't know why. We don't really have
they do
them
look nice,
in Britain,
they?
or at least we don't have them en masse, shall we say. Most houses that you'll find in Britain are made of brick, rock solid, right? But the structural integrity of these American houses, these wooden houses, I am led to believe, is still good. It's nothing to worry about. And you might be wondering, well, why does America have so many of these wooden houses? Well, firstly, they're cheap. Cheaper than brick houses by quite a way. And also there's quite a lot of wood just in the United States. You almost can't see the wood for the trees. That's not how that phrase works. And so they've been a mainstay of American housing since the 19th century. Now, that's not to say that, of course, America doesn't itself have brick houses. In fact, I kind of live in one myself. New York and Chicago, it's known for its brownstone apartments, but also you'll see brickery here and there. But I think for the most part, people here do live in houses that have a wooden exterior. I did when I first moved here, in fact, and I have to say it was fine. It was perfectly warm, well insulated. The odd spider got in, sometimes very odd.
Oh god, I hate spiders,
but we'll get onto that later. But it was just like any other house, really. I think my concern would have been that
Hey, that's good banter, mate. That's Lawrence. You're getting better at your
It
jokes.
would have,
bro.
collapsed on me, or that rain would get in, or things like that. But no, of course, it's very. These houses are sturdy, as far as I can tell, and they're good. Now, whether the house is made of brick, wood, or miscellaneous, it's likely to contain the following.
I'm
Air
jealous,
conditioning.
man. I'm
Where
jealous.
would we be without it? Well, for the
So
first
jealous,
26
man.
years of my life, I was without it. I usually just slept by the window, which was cracked open, and let in that sort of mild British air. That
Yep.
did the job for the most part.
That's
In
me,
the
man.
vast majority of the United States, you cannot do that, especially when the summer hits. In this country, temperatures reach sometimes as
Wait, you can't do. When it says you can't do it, does it mean it just won't be? You'll still be too hot, or is it something about leaving your window open in the US?
of the United States, you cannot do that, especially when the summer hits.
I guess it means it won't be cold enough or cool enough. Like even if you open your windows, it's still just gonna be too damn hot.
In this country, temperatures
I'm pretty
reach
sure.
sometimes as high as 40 degrees C or over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have air conditioning, you will die, or at the very least feel horrific. Now, again, in Britain, you will find exceptions to this rule, particularly in public places, but for the vast majority of people, air conditioning is not a thing in their homes. And thankfully, neither is the following.
Deadly spiders.
According
Thank
to the
Lord.
internet, and we all believe that, right? There's never been a recorded case in Britain of somebody dying from a spider bite. That is not true, of course, in the United States. There are deadly spiders here, and when I first moved here, that was something that I was quite wary of. I'm not really scared of spiders, but when something like that is alien to you and you move to one of the places where they are housed, it starts to play on your mind. And I get the impression this is true for quite a lot of British people. So I want to dispel some myths by uttering the following sentence. I, Lawrence Brown, have never seen a deadly spider outside of Indianapolis Zoo. It was supposed to be there. It was part of the attraction. And that's because they're quite rare. Okay, so the two spiders that you've really got to be wary of, but not that wary
black
of,
widows?
are black widows and brown recluses. I lived in Indianapolis. Brown recluses there are in fact indigenous to Indianapolis and some other surrounding states and the South. But here's a few things that you need to know about brown recluses. Firstly, they're recluses. You'll rarely ever see them. Again, I haven't. Secondly, they're not particularly vicious. They're not actually aggressive spiders. They're really only going to attack you if you prod them. And if you do that, then you deserve to be bitten. And as for black widows, you're probably never going to see one. But if you do, make sure it's not female. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. Because they're the only ones that can kill you. If I've not seen a deadly spider in 10 years, then you'll be fine, right? That's not how you're going to die. You're going to die of heart disease. I mean, that's statistically likely. So, Merry Christmas. But speaking of things that are deadly, here's something else Britain doesn't have. Now, again, I do want to reiterate that tornadoes absolutely exist in Britain, but there have been no recorded cases
a shock
of
to me.
fatalities. I do remember there was a close shave in burning.
How do they have statistical things back from 1,000
the
years ago?
2000s. They're usually really weak. I remember one turning up at the beach where I lived near, and the extent of the damage was a fallen deck chair. We don't have anything to worry about in Britain when it comes to tornadoes, but in America, of course, that ain't true. Now, again, when it comes to America, heart disease is the thing that you most need to be worried about. You're not very likely to die of a tornado, but that doesn't mean that people don't. Nature can be very, very punishing, and if you live in the Great Plains, or you live in the Midwest, or you live in the South, or other pockets of the United States, you may well encounter a tornado. But as with deadly spiders, I have to report to you today that in my 11 years of living in the United States, I've yet to encounter a tornado. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to one day, but remember that the United States is very large. So when these tornadoes turn up, they don't affect the whole state that they're showing up in. It's just a very small area of that state at any given time. Now, I did once encounter a tornado warning in which the wife and I and the two cats that we had at the time had to huddle together in the tiniest bathroom you've ever seen. So it turned out to be a false alarm, and all we got there was bad cramp. So all I'm saying is, don't worry. Come to the United States, move to the United States. Do not be worried about tornadoes. Unless you see one, then run.
Dessert.
What?
Desserts.
Britain doesn't have desserts? Outrage! You were reading too
What the fuck's
fast.
happening?
It said deserts.
Literally means.
Yes, that's right. With the exception of the Dungeness Headland in Kent, Britain does not boast any deserts, and even that one is debatable. But the United States, specifically the western portion of the United States, is quite known for its deserts, with Mojave and the like doing their thing. And that again just speaks to the vast terrain of the United States that I didn't even touch on in the video that I did previously about that very thing. So yes, you have large mountains here, you have the flatlands of the Great Plains, you have swamps, something else I didn't touch on, but deserts are a key feature of the West. You don't really want to find yourself, tornadoes or otherwise, stranded in one of those without a water bottle. So basically, in America, don't mess with Mother Nature. That's the key. I say that though as somebody that's not visited any of the deserts yet here in the United States. I'd love to, and you can safely. You just have to know the rules first. Let me know in the comments below if you live in any of the United States deserts or near them, and shed some light on what that's like, because for people like me from Britain, it's an alien concept. One thing you won't find in a desert is our next entry. Actually, you might. They're everywhere. Walmart. This is definitely not a sponsored video. One clarification here is you will find Walmart-owned stores in the United Kingdom, such as Asda. What you won't find is a supermarket with its own zip code, because they are that big here in the United States. They're huge, in fact. Now, yes, of course, Britain may have some exceptions to this rule. They might have some supersized supermarkets here and there, but America has them everywhere, specifically when we are talking about Walmart. These things are huge, and they stock absolutely everything you can think of, including car tires. You don't even have to go to the automobile shop or whatever that's called. And for me, it's overwhelming. I mean, I don't like walking into stores at the best of times just because it makes me dizzy. But Walmart especially so. So I steer clear of that place as best I can and just go to Aldi. Not knocking anybody that does shop at Walmart, by the way. You've obviously just got more stamina than I do. Sometimes next to Walmart and any of the retail outlets that you'll find in the United States, you might encounter one of these. Actually, one of these might be an understatement. One of the prevailing memories that I have of my first day in the United States, at least living here, was the blanket of neon signs everywhere. Indianapolis looked like Vegas by comparison. It was fun, you know, it was certainly different to anything I'd ever known. I would almost say there was a novelty value to it. Neon signs in Britain usually indicate something quite seedy, or somewhere you shouldn't take your mum. And so given that, it was actually quite jarring, still is to this day, to see the word bail bonds written in neon lights. Initially I thought it was an S&M reference, so just be careful where you enter. For the most part you'll be fine, but I assure you, you don't have to have any concerns about entering our next place. Alright, so after 11 years of living in the United States, the only reason I can see that you wouldn't like Arby's is if you have some weird commitment to McDonald's, or if you're a vegetarian/vegan. Then I can see it. But Arby's is without question my favourite fast food restaurant. I don't eat it every day, because see previous comment about heart disease, but I do eat it every other day. That's a lie. We don't have enough of them here in Chicago. Whenever I go back to Indiana to visit, I make sure I get Arby's. Their curly fries are amazing. Again, not a sponsored video, don't get that idea, including you Arby's. But if you're on the road and you really do have to succumb to fast food, I think this is your best bet. Get the roast beef sandwich. No, get the double roast beef sandwich. You will not regret it. Your stomach lining might, but you won't. The taste is exquisite. I should point out, by the way, that if there are any pedants from Britain who have a fantastic memory, Arby's did have a very tiny presence in Britain in the early 2000s, but the last Arby's closed there in 2001 and it hasn't been back since. One thing's for sure though, Arby's and many outlets like it have the following.
Free refill.
Anybody that's followed my channel now for a while will know that I have feelings on free refills. In fact, I did an entire video about it. And while they are all the rage here, and of course you'll find them in most fast food outlets and other places, there is one clarification I have to make here. You will find free refills as an option in places like Subway in the United Kingdom. So in some capacity America has exported it, but it is by no means as universal in the United Kingdom.
I feel like the free refills is in the fast food restaurants that come from the US. Like, I should say that Subway, but you don't get it. You don't get it at McDonald's. I don't think you get it at KFC. It's just like Subway. When I'm thinking about it, you get it at some like sort of buffets, but I feel like buffets are always free refill because you get like as much food as you want and you get as many drinks as you want, right? But I think it's only for certain drinks as well.
Kingdom as it is in the United States. And as I've said before, I think the temptation of knowing that I could get a free cup of pop on top of the one that I've already had
Nando's as well
is what made me give up pop in the first place. So I do have that to thank America for. Of course, if you are American and you have the willpower to stay away from the free refills, more power to you. Same goes for our final entry.
Perpetual pancakes. Perpetual pancakes. What the fuck does he mean by that?
Oh, pancakes. Pancakes are special in Britain. We absolutely have them. That's not what I'm saying.
I love pancakes, man. I have them like every other week. I usually have them for like dessert though, like after my dinner. And I've never really had. Actually, I've had them for breakfast occasionally. We have a day called Pancake Day. I don't know if it's a day in the US. It may do. It's what? Fuck it. I'm gonna see. Is Pancake Day a thing? Oh, so it is. Pancake Day or Shrove Tuesday is a special day celebrated in many countries around the world. It is celebrated in English-speaking countries like the UK, Ireland, Australia and Canada. In France, the USA and other countries called Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday. Oh! Where does it even come from? Isn't it to do with like Eid? Is it not Eid? It's to do with... What's it called? Lent? Is it to do with Lent? It's like when you... the last time you can have sweet stuff until like Easter or something.
Here,
What
I am saying is we usually devote one day a year to eating them, and most of us won't eat them at any other time. So
I didn't used to. I only actually started having them since I've been with my girlfriend, man, and I'm happy because they bang. A bit of Nutella, sometimes a bit of fruit, a bit of like honey. I try and avoid the maple syrup because I'm trying to be a bit better, but you know how it is, man. It's so good. I love pancakes so much. I want to try them with like the proper American bacon. And like syrup, boy, that would be so good. Oh, I need to try that.
So when I was a kid growing up, I had a lot of fun on Pancake Day or Shrove Tuesday, attempting to make pancakes with my mum. She did most of the work, especially after I nearly burned down the house. But in America, you can eat them any day of the year. Just head down to IHOP, that's International House of Pancakes, and get your pancake filling right there. But you don't even have to do that. I mean, you will find pancakes on the menu at a lot of these sort of, cafes and all manner of other places. They are very, very prevalent. So when you talk about Pancake Day in America, actually, IHOP has its own sort of Pancake Day on or around Shrove Tuesday. But most people don't take it seriously. It's because every day is Pancake Day. That's it for this episode. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below.
Good video, man. I love these sorts of ones so much.
Do you mix it with your Arby's roast beef sandwich? Don't do that. And if you've not had the chance, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't...
Shout out to him, man. Like, honestly, shout out to him. Shout out to his Patreon as well. Like, if you're interested in that, link in the description for his as well. I love his videos so much. I love seeing the differences in just sort of like the weird sort of comparisons of things that America has that Britain doesn't, or vice versa. I just find it so fun. UK, no deadly spiders. USA, deadly spiders. Australia, am I a joke to you? Australia's just like, move out of the way. We're the kings of this one. I love that he described Arby's as exquisite. He reminded me of my cousin from England that described much of what she ate here as divine. Without it, America's vigorous consumption of pancakes, Canada's syrup-based economy would collapse. If you want all the seasons in 1 week, come to North Carolina. If you experience an earthquake in America, you'll be grateful for a wood home. They flex. Oh, that's true. Actually, I feel like, yeah, it would be better for earthquakes, right? That's actually a good point. I didn't think of that. I was just thinking of tornadoes or storms. I live in New Mexico, and there's a black widow in my garage every month. Yeah, man, that's not for me, bro. Fuck that. Every day is Pancake Day. I've never been so proud of America. Every day is Pancake Day. It's the best American advertisement ever. Come to America where every day is Pancake Day. I just want to try bacon and syrup on a pancake, man. Or like the stacks of pancakes. I don't know if I can buy American style bacon here, but if I can, one day when I'm just having a cheat day, I'm gonna just have a big pile of pancakes, get some syrup, get some American style bacon, and just have it for breakfast, bro. Oh my god, I've got to do it. I mean, it probably won't be as good as like the diners or whatever, but still, I think you missed the biggest thing America has that Britain doesn't: the sun. It's true. I mean, it's weird. Like in England or in Britain, for about 3 months of the year, the weather's just incredible. It is incredible, but then for the rest of the year, it just sucks. But yeah, for those few months, you've just got to take advantage of it, right? And now with the virus coming, like the virus slowing down and things opening up, I'm excited, man. I am, but I don't even know I'm talking about that. But hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If you want more reactions from Lost in the Pond, suggest what you want me to see. And I mean, yeah, until next time, like, subscribe.